Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second day for Retail Leadership Summit 2023. Today, our panel discussion is on innovative retail marketing strategies for attracting and retaining customers. We have assembled a group of esteemed panelists who will share their insights and experiences of the latest marketing trends which they have implemented in their organizations. The industry is undergoing a significant transformation of late, and the consumer expectations are continuously evolving. Retailers are facing intense competition both from traditional brick and mortar stores and e-commerce giants as well. In such a dynamic environment, it's essential for retailers to stay ahead of the curve and adopt innovative strategies that can attract and retain customers. By adopting strategies such as personalized marketing, social media campaigns, experiential marketings, retailers can create unique and engaging customer experience that build brand loyalty and drive sales. Retailers who have successfully implemented innovative marketing strategies have reaped tangible benefits, including increased footfall, higher conversion rates, improved customer loyalty, and overall increase in the brand equity. Retailers who have successfully implemented these strategies have also created a strong employee-employer relationship, which is the very core of any organization. Today, we have got an eminent panel, and Hugo has already introduced them. I would request each one of them to introduce yourself succinctly. We'll start with Ankur, and then subsequently we'll carry on. So just give a brief introduction about your organization, and then we start.
Hello everyone, myself Ankur Bhatia. I am the CEO for Chogori India Retail Limited. We are running, in India we are running stores for Columbia Sportswear, that's the biggest brand we have. And apart from that, we have an umbrella concept of Adventuras, where we are getting all the outdoor brands into the country. When I say outdoors, it basically means brands which are related to trekking, hiking, mountaineering, mountain biking, and all of that. So it's a very niche category. In India, it is still evolving, and we have been around for the last 7-8 years, but now it looks like people are able to recognize what outdoors basically means. Our retail footprint is expanding, and we are getting a lot of positive cues from customers in terms of footfalls, in terms of appreciation of our products, and hence as a result, both in online and offline, actually not just offline, we are able to expand to a lot of cities and a lot of malls in the country. So that's basically about, and of course we'll talk about retail and retail marketing and what is the success mantra there. But I would just, let's open with the introductions. Thanks.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm Ankur Damani. I'm the country head of Creuset. It's a 100-year-old French brand with a lot of heritage and legacy. One of the best known French brands in the world amidst a lot of other luxury French brands. We are into luxury cookware and kitchenware. Obviously, it's a very old brand, but we entered India almost a decade back. We are into retail stores, distribution. We have a very strategic segment, which is hospitality, luxury hotels and restaurants. And we also supply to a lot of luxury weddings like, the Ambanis, etc. We launched into e-commerce, and I think COVID changed everything for a lot of us. And food was the center stage of discussions in homes. Everybody was caught inside, and people who did not cook, never cooked, also started cooking. And there was a lot of conversation around food, cookware, health, etc. So that's something that has really, fueled a lot of intrigue about our brand. And globally, this is something not a lot of people say, but globally, last 2 years have been record years for us. Because, like I mentioned, there's so much talk about food, cookware, and, healthy living. So yeah, I mean, in India, we are growing very rapidly. We are opening stores, and e-commerce is something which was more new post-COVID, because being in the very much premium space, we were not so much into e-commerce. But this is a segment which nobody can now ignore.
Thanks,
you.
thanks, Ankur. Ramesh.
Hi, my name is Ramesh Padala. I'm the CTO for Reliance Retail. I'm based here in Mumbai. Reliance Retail, as most of you are familiar with, we are essentially 4 large verticals. We have electronics, fashion lifestyle, which is clothes, and then your value, which is groceries, your everyday essentials. And the last one is brands. So we keep acquiring brands. So we have a large team that focuses on brands. In addition to everything else, I also manage marketing technology for across the group. So we'll hopefully talk more about that later.
Thanks, Ramesh. Sunil.
Hi, my name is Sunil Kumar. I'm from Rocking Deals. So Rocking Deals, as the name goes, is into business of deals. So we have our backend integration with brands and also with online players, wherein we source their inventory and then we put that in place through our stores to the customers, and we offer that with Rocking Deals. So that's the name is. So we have about 60 stores right now. We deal in 30 plus categories. We are getting into hyper retail. We already have 4 stores into hyper format, and otherwise we have SHA and appliances as a major category, wherein we deal with at least 10 exclusive stores for that. So the business is such wherein it is proven as Corona, that pandemic-free business, that time the impact was there not across businesses, and we were still surviving and thriving because of the value, that was evolved. So we are trying to interact more with the customers through the marketing and stuff. So I think we'll get in detail with that.
Thanks, Sunil. I will start with Ankur Damani. Ankur, you said you are a 100-year-old brand, and it's a French brand. You did mention about your categories that you cater, specifically hospitality and restaurant QSR. The landscape has changed. You also mentioned post-COVID, people had started cooking, etc. So if you look at current, the current stage, what kind of role innovation has played, in making you or in staying ahead of the competition? Before that, if you can answer the brand positioning of Le Creuset to for the audience's comprehension as well. Okay, how is it positioned? And then because I won't say, but sometimes I try to pick up it so heavy that I can't. So just kidding. But having said that, it's a wonderful brand, no doubt about it. But just touch upon the positioning part of it, and then you can talk about the innovation in staying ahead. Yeah.
So just to answer a very small aspect that you mentioned, so we are the lightest cast iron brand in the world. So cast iron as a material is very heavy, but our recipe in cast iron is like the Coke, Coke recipe. So there are a lot of brands who are copying us, but they are like 25 to 50% heavier than us. So we are the lightest cast iron brand in the world.
Good.
So
thanks.
And you get used to it, once you start cooking. So. Coming to positioning, I think it's very important to understand because I think we are from a very diverse panel. So Le Creuset is one of the most premium brands in the world in the cookware segment, and our positioning in India is slightly more premium because India is still at a very nascent stage. The cookware industry is very fragmented and unorganized. Not many international players who are coming in rapidly now, but from that standpoint, we are positioned almost at luxury in the Indian cookware industry. But globally, I mean, we are a premium to bridge to luxury brand. Obviously, we are expensive, but, just to give another heads up about our brand, so we offer a lifetime guarantee on our products, which is kind of unheard in any category. So, once you purchase our cookware, you can use it for like 40, 50, 60 years. And there are a lot of stories from, French women who, pass on their, cocotte or the casserole that they use to their daughters when they get married. So that's the kind of legacy the brand has, and it's like an heirloom product, so it passes on generations. Now coming to innovation, I think obviously, COVID was a big eye-opener for everyone, and, everything changed overnight. So, brands that have been very, very resilient and very agile and who have, adapted and adopted to, technology and, changing consumer behavior have always been, on top of the curve. So, historically, since we cater to a very, very, premium audience, our endeavor has always been to provide an experience, and gone are the days when, people buy products or services. I think people now buy experiences, and that's just not limited to luxury or premium brands, but I think consumers, especially in a country like India, are so demanding that, even with a value brand, they expect a certain level of, experience. So that's how we've moved over the last couple of decades. And how we have innovated in India, the brand was not very well known, and, cast iron, we obviously have stainless steel, non-stick and other categories that are very, very popular in India. But cast iron was something which was very new when we entered, and not a lot of people knew about it. So our sort of marketing strategy was, to get into experiential marketing, have a first-hand experience about the brand. And we've done it very, very innovatively, through exclusive culinary experiences, in five-star hotels, luxury restaurants, even in our stores. And we do a lot of product demonstrations and, master classes with influencers, celebrities, celebrity chefs. We do a lot of work with Marriott as well, in the launches of, for example, Westin Chennai, we did an experiential marketing, with 10, 20 guests. So that's something that we've been doing, and one thing which has worked very well for us is not just giving that experience to the, but in this world of social media, that experience with 20, 30 people actually explodes, because people love to flaunt and that they've been to such an experience, click photographs with celebrities and chefs. So I think not just that experience, but how the word of marketing spreads, especially in the luxury segment. That's something really that has worked for us. But talking about innovation, this entire experiential marketing went down the drain when COVID hit us, because everyone was indoors. So we had to very, very quickly pivot and maneuver, because this was something which was gaining a lot of traction for us in terms of people understanding the brand and people getting to know the brand. So we took this entire experience from offline to online. I think we were all on Zoom and WhatsApp videos, talking to friends that we've not spoken 20 years back. And this is something that we also kind of leveraged, because everyone was indoor and talking about online ways of communication. And we started this entire experience online with closed Zoom calls for our HNIs and our loyal customers, talking about different recipes, talking about superfoods and immunity boosting foods, to make those relevant communications so that there is value add to the customer even sitting at home. And beyond that also, doing Instagram live sessions. I think social media has become so powerful, and influencers have become so powerful that, it was the best time to use them and to, take the brand to their sort of TG. So that's something that we had to very, very quickly maneuver once COVID hit us.
Awesome. Thanks, Ankur. So prior to COVID, and now you must have resumed to your old initial experiential marketing. So, doing experiential marketing, exclusive culinary experiences for select set of people, influencer marketing with celebrity chefs, and obviously tie-ups with groups like Marriott, etc. were the initial things. Good. Post that online Insta Live and Zoom calls with HNIs. I think that's the way you have also, the brand has adopted the way the situation was, and now I think you have come back to normal and going again back to your old innovation and marketing strategies. With this, I would like to ask Ankur Bhatia from Colombia that how has innovation helped him, or any such example which has helped the brand differentiate amongst this, because your category also is extremely niche. You are into trekking, hiking, and sportswear and winter wear kind of a category. So how has innovation helped you, and what was that innovation?
So before I talk about innovation, Hitesh, it's very important to understand that retail marketing is just about the basics in terms of what piece you are focusing on, right? So let's touch upon that a little bit in terms of having the right product at the right price, at the right place, with the right promotions. And as we with time, more P's have gotten added to this list in terms of, say, processes and then presentation of the product in the right way. Fortunately, unfortunately for retailers, and I keep looking at financial data of, at least publicly available financial data of major retailers in the country. If we don't focus on the main 5 or 6 P's, ultimately you will end up focusing on promotion as a key aspect of liquidating your inventory, because your asset becomes liability very soon. So, and of course, in COVID, my colleagues here talked about, that if you have survived the COVID period, you would have done something right. Otherwise, we would not be sitting here.
Absolutely.
And would have just died along the way.
Absolutely.
As a retail company. So it's about innovation. It's also about doing the basics right. In terms of these P's, getting them right. Otherwise, you will end up doing promotions only. And we stay away from them. As a company, our average discounting is probably the lowest in the country across all retail channels, because we want to consciously stay away from that. So that's the biggest innovation from a perspective that we don't want to discount our products just because the rest of the P's are not in place. So in terms of, and that we do both online and offline. Okay. So not just offline, and traditionally we have always spoken about retail marketing as an offline concept, because, but then again, a lot of this rub-off has to be in the online space also, because the new generation of customers is actually maybe just trying and buying everything online, not even visiting our stores and so on. So both offline, online, and then from an innovation perspective, I would say you can do a lot of things. You can have all the fancy LED stuff going on in your stores. You can do a lot of things in the store. You can do a lot of things in the online space also. But then again, getting these basics right is the real innovation happening at a company level also, and at a online, offline store level also.
So it's a very important point. You know, since we are talking about marketing, what Ankur says here is the innovation is not doing promotions. Innovation is sticking to your, core P's: price, place, product, and promotion. Promotion is a part of that, but promotion consists of 4 things: promotion per se, sales, advertising, and PR. So all these are the 4 aspects of promotion. Having said
just
that,
to give you an example, sorry, Hitesh,
yeah.
I'm just barging in again.
Please.
We sell all technical gear. If we start selling this technical gear as fashion apparel, we would fall flat on our face.
Exactly.
It's not fashion. Hence, we have to communicate either through brand tags or through in-store communication the right aspects about the product, so that the consumer, and both offline, online, so that the consumer at the time of buying decision, he's able to figure out what exactly the product stands for and how it is going to benefit the consumer. And if you don't do it right, ultimately it goes as a discounted sale towards the end of the season. So that's where the crux is in terms of getting the process and the presentation and the product right. So the key aspect here, or the core, is the product, which Ankur says, and the innovation is stay away from promotions or discounting, is what he mentioned.
Can I add something here?
Yeah, please, Ramesh.
So, I think what Ankur brought up is something very key. So most of us, when we think about marketing, we're thinking about the front end, like doing promotions, doing campaigns, and looking at, clicks and click-throughs, and then conversion rates. But if you take apparel as an example, and I mean, Colombia is much bigger than apparel, but for me, if you look at Agio or Trends stores, what used to happen is, you had like 3 seasons, right? Like you had, spring and winter, and right. So we used to stock up and then do a bunch of promotions, beginning of season sale, do a bunch of promotions all through the season. And come February, we still have a lot of stock. So we do the end of season, end of reason, whatever you want to call it, right? It worked because fashion in general is slightly high margin. But still, we were leaving a lot of margin on the table. Because you stocked up 5 months before, and especially nowadays in the world of Instagram, fashion changes very quickly.
Yes.
Right. So you have something called fast fashion, which has become very popular now in China, in Western, in Europe and America, catching on here also. Like even here, if you go to Bandra, you see different fashion. Like, you go to like a Powai here, you see different fashion. You go to obviously Bangalore, Chennai, you see something else. And these trends are changing very quickly. So the old way of, like buying inventory, keeping it, and then doing a bunch of marketing doesn't seem to work anymore. So even we are moving very quickly to faster replenishment, looking at fashion trends, looking at social media, looking at signals from, like general social media, obviously Google Trends, things like that, and managing our inventory, which requires a lot of interplay between technology, supply chain, and the marketing team. So I think that's becoming more and more key.
So Ramesh, I just want to ask one question. You spoke about inventory. So can retailers adopt just-in-time inventory, strategy? And I know it is difficult because there are seasons, you have to do planning and so on and so forth. But is that a solution? Because ultimately, at what you said, either I have to anyways discount it, and then we'll ask Sunil about this, because he is also in that category. But this question specifically, Ramesh, to you about how about just-in-time, inventory kind of a...
Yeah. I think the old days of forecasting and planning and buying is gone now. So it's even for grocery, for fashion, lifestyle for sure, even for electronics, it's becoming just-in-time. And now manufacturing has become so lean. So you can actually lead times are like literally 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get something, right? So especially for fashion now, especially if you're based in this area like Gujarat or Bombay or something like that, you can like fabric to actual cloth is like 1 week, right? And then you can put it, and then you can do ship directly from the vendors. We don't even need to bring it to our warehouses, which is typically what we do for just in time. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. With this, Sunil, you have a solution to this problem, right?
So I think we are in a different business altogether. So Rocking Deals, as I said, is into high-value products. So we extend, the best deals possible to our customers, and we manage it through our back-end integration with e-commerce sites. We re-commerce their products, and we also buy with different brands their old season merchandise, especially in fashion. So from there, we manage across 30 plus categories as a bundle at our stores, offering them at the best possible prices. And the marketing that works for us is direct communication with our customers, wherein we claim that we are the best pricing solution in those products. So right now, the tagline that we are communicating with our customers is "Online se sasta," and our recent marketing campaign says "Isse sasta to get your money back." So these kind of claims really help us in our kind of business, and with retail getting more competition, as you know, there are regional players in outskirts of NCR, in outskirts of all tier 1, tier 2 cities. You can locate, competition that I am into that business. The Rocking Deal is a brand which is almost 2 decades old now, and though we are one of the biggest in India, but still the kind of competition that is coming up and popping up, and this business trajectory is becoming a little more intense. Because of re-commerce, the more funnel has come in, the more product is obviously getting pushed to the market, and the more channels are opening up to kind of reach to the customers with that value system. Though yesterday I was listening to the opening note from a gentleman. He was talking about subscription model to a loyalty base. So that is something which has worked with us from a very long time. So we've been giving subscription at a very low price to our customers to become a loyal member with us. And there we extend some extra discount to our customers. So the customer who's already thinking discount and value, that extra perk to his total buying cycle makes him more loyal with us. So this as a model, as an innovative strategy, I would say, has worked with us throughout at least from 1 decade. So that is a proven strategy for us. And also about recent, during Corona also, the online surge that happened, people started consuming more content. So, those lot of influencers, that, plethora of content that was pushed to us. So there is always that, there is also that niche wherein, influencers have become a very big, very big marketing tool for most of the brands. And for us also, it worked very well. So we have a lot of YouTubers, a lot of bloggers who cover our brand. They create that excitement in the market about the pricing, the crazy rates that we deal at, and that really brings in a lot of customers to the table for us.
Crazy rates that you deal with, Ramesh, taking this point of Sunil, how has this subscription model and other loyalty programs influenced purchase?
Yeah, loyalty has been big for Reliance. And also I come from Amazon, so I'm guessing like at least 30% of this audience is a Prime member, which is basically a hook to free marketing, right? So because then once you come in, you take a Prime membership, or you take for Reliance it's called R1, where you accrue points wherever you purchase. It's been a very intrinsic part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's rich with information. Like once you start using, you're buying, you're giving your phone number. Normally you would avoid giving your phone number, but since you want to accrue some points, you're giving your phone number, so you're able to get much more data on your purchase, where you're purchasing, what you're purchasing, online, offline. So I think it's a win-win for the retailer and the customers.
Also, Ramesh, what's the role of omni-channel strategy that you have for a seamless customer experience from online to offline, vice versa?
Yeah. So to be frank, before COVID, we didn't have one. But during COVID, we launched JioMart, and Jio has gone to another level. And Reliance Digital.in also has picked up quite a bit. And all the brands also have started their online presence. What we have done, obviously, from a customer perspective, you're able to order online, you're able to walk into a store and order. But what we have done from a fulfillment perspective is truly omni-channel. So you can walk into a store, and if you don't have a size, you can order it through an endless aisle experience, and then it comes home to you. Or you're sitting at home, you order something, like for example a shirt, it most likely will get fulfilled from a local trend store or maybe a Marks and Spencer store. And the other way around also, right? Like, so if you are in a store and if you don't have a size, and it's at a neighboring distribution center, by that afternoon you'll have it at the store. So it's become quite omni-channel in terms of fulfillment for sure. Yeah.
Ankur,
and our marketing also has become very omni-channel. We launched a store called Resort in Bangalore, now 2 stores in Mumbai. Next generation fashion lifestyle. So you can walk into the trial room. There is a mirror that shows all different sizes available on. It's all like RFID tagged. So it's quite advanced in that.
Ankur, any omni-channel marketing example, likewise for both the Ankurs, yeah.
Both?
Yeah, sorry.
Come again.
Any omni-channel example, seamless customer experience?
Well, I mean, it's the same thing, right? You buy from online, you return in offline. Within offline also, if you don't have the size, you can use endless aisle because that particular piece would be somewhere else. So it just makes absolute customer centricity point of view also, that it makes sense that the customer is able to get serviced across channels. And COVID also taught that to us, by the way, so that because stores were shut and then we had to get every customer either through a WhatsApp or through the online channels into our fold and sustain through that difficult time. So it's just about, doing that right and thinking from a customer's point of view, whether the customer wants to buy from the store, return at the store, something which he purchased online. So it's just about doing that right and doing that repetitively so that the customer is at the center of things. Also, we keep listening to customer pain points from an overall heat map perspective in terms of where all are we going wrong, because the customer is telling you that all the time. It's just that you have to listen to that voice, and whether it's through NPS score or any other thing, any other technology is just a means to the end. We keep evolving on omni-channel. It's a journey. I don't think anybody has reached the summit of that journey. It's just that we are along the way on that.
Okay. Ankur.
So I think, for the kind of positioning that we operate in, omni-channel for us is like, it's endless. So, but what we've over the years have understood is, how you keep the customer at the center of all your decisions. how you understand the customer changing behavior, how they are shopping, where they are shopping, what do they want. I think that's the key to omni-channel. And over the last 3 years, I think, the graph has just been up and down and up and down, and that's what you really need to understand about the customer. So, before COVID, obviously, we were doing, our products are heavy, as you mentioned, and bulky as well. So for a brand like us, we were always doing home deliveries and, helping the customer out in that sense, even from a retail point of view. But what changed was that, as COVID came in, the customer behavior completely changed, They started, of course, there was a big, explosion in online and e-commerce. But then over the last 3 years, what has also happened is that, of course, people are now rushing into retail stores because, they want to experience everything firsthand. But from a convenience point of view, what has also happened is that a lot of customers who know about the brand, who have made purchases, they now want convenience. They'll do WhatsApp video calls. They'll do, ask for the catalog. They'll ask store managers to click pictures of different colors or sizes and stuff like that. And they just want, you deliver it to our store. Or they'll say that, okay, you bring these 10 products. I'll buy 8 of them, or I'll, return. So I think for us, omni-channel has gone a step beyond, what the usual omni-channel is, because our customer is a little more evolved and high-end. So I think we go a little that extra mile in terms of, getting the product to them.
So it's like banking at your doorstep, something like
absolutely,
that?
Absolutely.
Metrics, this is one of my favorite topics. And, any business, if you can't measure, you can't manage. And all the businesses, I want to know from each one of you, what kind of metrics you all use to, measure your marketing, your business models. So we can start with Ramesh. And, can you tell us about your measuring metrics, please?
Yeah, I mean, we have invested quite a bit in data engineering and analytics. In terms of marketing, we do the usual things, like your ROI, click-stream analysis, and promotion efficiency, conversion rates, and I'm just trying to think, any unique things. I think one thing that we have done, at least in the recent past, is actually start looking at online, offline journeys, like omni-channel journeys of customers, and how that is getting influenced by marketing campaigns. And as Ankur was mentioning earlier, offline is still, we send out flyers and WhatsApp campaigns, and the manager connect with loyal customers and stuff. So we're trying to see how to, how that journey maps from offline customers to online, online to offline. That's been a pretty big metric for us, excellent, especially pre-COVID, during COVID, post-COVID.
Sure. And, if you can share some more dope later on this offline-online journey, Sunil, you are into a completely different game, and what kind of metrics you use?
See, our metrics are very simple. We mostly we do category, category push wherein few categories are never touched by some customers. So we are trying to introduce those categories to customers, and the metrics is very simple. How many we converted to, from those customers who are not buying so far from that category. If we are able to convert some, so that's the metrics we normally use for that kind of activities. Apart from that, we are also present in online. We are there in marketplaces, so we figure out how many we are converting. It's an omni-channel. I mean, the crux is customer is spoiled, so we have to reach out. We have to make sure that we take care of our that customer who is already pumped and filled with the options in the market. We cannot really leave that space. So wherever he is, we have to make sure that we pop out and we make our presence available there. So obviously, sailing from one channel to other is the only key wherein we can engage more with the customer, and getting that extra time from the customer is the direct sale that we kind of see that influx in the numbers. So over there, from our own website through marketplaces, We push, as I said, our very marketing programs that we do are mostly category push, or sometime it is pushing the subscription model, pushing the new store, pushing some other parameter wherein we want to draw some influx to the numbers. So there, the numbers are the only parameters, and we get that straight as a metrics for us.
Good. Ankur, Bhatia.
I mean, apart from the normal run-of-the-mill stuff which we do, which is, say, tracking conversion, tracking offline, online journeys, and doing all of that, there's this interesting thing which we did last year was in terms of tracking how many customers are outside our store.
Okay. How do you do that?
So there are retail solutions which are available which count the footfall not just in terms of what is coming inside the store, but also in terms of how many people are passing through the aisle in a mall. What it tells is about how efficacious is your window or your invitation to the customer in terms of whether he wants to come inside or not.
So that is a test for visual merchandising, is it?
Test for visual merchandising in a way. It's interesting because sometimes we tend to believe that the mall is not generating enough footfalls for us, while that from a data perspective might not be true. Because the customer is already there, it's just that you have to get them inside. And once the customer is inside, obviously there are heat maps and then there are CCTV cameras which tell you a lot about the customer in terms of which section of the store are they going into. And the problem with data is that it's more past oriented, but there is data which is available which will tell you more about the future and more about the lost opportunity. So if more customers and more female customers are going towards the women's section of the store, there might be an opportunity for us to tap into that customer and buy more from a forward-looking perspective. Historically, our women's share might have been 30%. But if the heat map is saying that 40% of the consumers are going towards the women's section, there is a 10% opportunity cost to that.
Yes.
It can be used in a lot of ways. There is a lot of data. We might have that data and have a blind side towards that. So, I mean, it's again a journey.
Sure. Ankur from Leh.
I think, most of the usual points are discussed and, we track, all these metrics. But there are two things which we do very, very differently. We call it, a loss of sale tracker report, which we do every day. So, along with the DSR. So what we do is that if a customer has spent more than 5 minutes inside the store, there is a tracker that the staff has to send why the customer did not purchase, So there could be reasons. Of course, there will be times when, they will say he was just browsing, did not say anything. But what we try and encourage to do that if a customer has taken interest, 5 minutes, looking around the store, talking to you, that means the customer is interested in the brand, he wants to know more. And then, if he does not make that purchase, of course, there will be answers like, it was very expensive. We are in, in terms of positioning, everybody can't buy the brand. But then we try and, there are a lot of insights that come in, a lot of insights from an Indian perspective that they want some very specific Indian kind of products or, they are looking for some specific thing. They are looking, at times, they're looking for something which is not in stock, So those kind of things, and we track this on a daily, then monthly basis and try and see, what the customer behavior is, why are we losing out and what can we do to, kind of increase our conversions. The second thing which we focus on, and which is like very important to us and what I believe personally is that, when there is a customer issue or a complaint or a grievance, I think that's the best chance for a brand to make that customer loyal. So a lot of brands, struggle with this that, there is a customer complaint, what do you do with it? But, for us, we've always said that if a customer comes with an issue or a grievance, I think that is really good for us because how you respond to that can really, turn that customer into a loyal customer. And that's something that we track very, very actively in terms of for each store or for online, how many customer complaints are coming. This is something that I do personally. So every customer complaint goes through me. I don't intervene, but I see every customer complaint that's happening. And, we track the turnaround time. What was the solution? If rarely we've said no, then why was that, How can you say no to a customer? Of course, you will have customers who will break the product and come and tell you that, you exchange it. But we try and see, why we could not, make the customer happy.
Oh, thanks. Ramesh, what would be the impact of AI, AR voice technologies, etc. Currently, if you are using, and everybody does, but more so for the near future, the way everybody is talking about AI and AR and ML and IoT and voice assistants, etc. So how is this going to impact marketing, and how this is going to impact the customer?
Yeah. I'm not so sure, actually, to be very frank. From a AI and like the whole Chat GPT thing that's going on right now.
Yeah.
There are obviously some easy applications out of this whole thing, right? So, for example, you take a website like Ageo or an app like Ageo, you could use something like Chat GPT to enhance the description of, like right now, if you go. See, we source a lot of our clothes and things from smaller vendors, right? Like who are not really providing a lot of description, and so even if you go to Amazon or any other sites, right, you see some of the clothes are very nice, but apparel they're very good, but they don't have enough description. They don't have what it is about. So, so we do look at something like a ChatGPT or AI to enhance that experience. In terms of marketing, where we're looking at is, how do we get our customers to try something? Especially things like fashion, jewelry, and even like cosmetics, right, like a lipstick or an eyeliner. How do we get customers to at least try it in a virtual fashion? And then hopefully that converts to a visit to a store or maybe a purchase online. So I think that's where a lot of at least effort is going on.
Okay. Sunil, hello. Yeah. Sunil, online se sasta. Do you, but the quality remains the same? Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, the quality is same. So we have a huge push for QC. So we do quality check at our level before we push the product to the front lines. Also, we give RD warranty. So we have Rocking Deals warranty extended to all the categories, which is appliances mostly. So that's assurance of keeping the quality intact, and that assurance of keeping the product pristine for the customer is the key for us, to survive us that long. And that's the only differentiation in our business. So more the scale is, more the QC pushes, and that's where we can win the customers, because there are most of the customers who are there in my loyal base are using the product. So they are users. So they are the ones who are spreading the word of mouth. They are my brand ambassadors already. So that's where the the product becomes their key for us to unlock their wallet for us, and that's where the journey starts. So first product, if they're satisfied, then obviously they'll push it to their natural circle, and whatever marketing I do, that's obviously is the that's the biggest possible push that any brand can have.
Okay. Last leg of this session is about brand values and social responsibility, because that's an integral part of marketing. Branding is the core. This question is to Ankur. We'll start with you. How do you communicate your brand values? And there are. One thing is we can write on the board, these are my 5 values, okay, for the company, etc. But that's not what the question is, and you can answer it the way you want by giving one example as well. For example, customer service. That can be one of the ways in which you can show your brand values, or how you treat your employees, etc. And second part is on the social responsibility, because this has become an integral part not only of the organization but also the marketing aspect. Today, marketing, the core part is how you achieve your social responsibility goals. Most of the companies do have, and social responsibility goals doesn't mean only from the environment perspective. It can be any other social angle of the society. So on those angles, Ankur, if you can throw some light, please.
So Hitesh, there is a brand value and there is a value system of the company.
Yes.
As far as the brand value is concerned, across all the brands we deal with, largely the theme is that the quality is top notch and it won't fail when you need it the most, because if the customer is in a cold environment, say in minus 30 or minus 40 degrees, there is absolutely no way that the shoe starts leaking or the jacket doesn't perform the way it's supposed to perform, because the person will die.
Yes.
If he has to stay overnight or if there is no help. And in India, SOS calls don't get easily accepted and addressed like we have in Western countries. So the gear can't fail. Across all the brands, the gear can't fail. That's the brand value system in which we are working, and that's why only brands which have been in existence for the last hundreds of years are the ones which we are dealing with as a group philosophy. As far as the company value system is concerned and the social responsibility attached around it, I think governments, as we have all realized, can only do as much. It's just a concept which is now catching up, which is much more than corporate social responsibility, and that's known as deep purpose of the organization. And that is where I think all the companies should move or are already moving, because that's where the inner strength or the satisfaction of a company or satisfaction of working for a company lies. And that deep purpose is what is impacting not just the brand or the customer or the association of the customer with the brand, it's also motivating employees. So for instance, we are constantly internally thinking about global warming and climate change. And if we start taking, say, 2 rupees per invoice from the customer as CSR spend, it's not going to do anything for the environment. As long as we build it as a deep purpose within the organization and start saying that, what if every time a customer buys and accumulates, say, loyalty points, and we use those loyalty points not as a discount in his next purchase, but if we grow a tree in his or her name and cover one of the hills entirely with this kind of activity. That's the purpose of an organization. And at our scale, probably we'll have lakhs of trees planted within a year.
Excellent. This is a very noble thought.
So that's the purpose, and that's much more than CSR.
Yeah. Excellent. Good point. I think it's easier said than done from a marketing strategy, and let's not use the word marketing strategy per se from that angle, but what Ankur did mention about the deep purpose of an organization. The face to do that is the marketing department, and that's where the strategy comes in. But the whole objective is the deep purpose of this organization, that let's collect X amount and then let's plant trees and then let's save the environment and the global warming and so on and so forth. So this is an excellent idea, and this I would consider it as an innovation in marketing and communications as well. Over to you, Ankur.
So I think as far as brand value is concerned, one of our strongest brand values is trust. And, when a customer walks into a Le Creuset store or purchases a Le Creuset product, he can be rest assured about the quality and the experience. And that's why, we take some of the things like customer complaints or issues very, very, with highest, priority, and look at it very closely at the top management level, to the extent that, some of the emails come from our chairman, that an email has gone and, there are customers who copy the entire management, and the first person who steps in is our chairman. So, that's the kind of importance we give to our customer. I think we are a very, very customer-centric, very, very customer-first brand. And, from a trust perspective, it's not just about, the product that we make. Of course, we give a lifetime guarantee, and, it's like a sort of written trust which is already assured. But, how the overall experience is, how the after-sales service is, I think, those kind of things are things which, take you a long way. And that's one of the reasons that, we have a very, very high repeat purchase. I mean, brands really struggle to sort of, get customer back to the store. But for us, the problem has not been, to get the customer back to the store. Our problem has been to, take the brand to a much wider audience, because obviously it's very expensive. So how do you acquire a new customer who understands value of the product being that expensive. So I think that's one thing. The other thing is that, we've always tried to, project ourselves as a lifestyle brand than a cookware brand. And that philosophy has been, there in all our marketing communication and everything. So like I mentioned, we just don't sell cookware. So we talk to the customer about a lot of content in terms of, food, in terms of recipes, in terms of, how you can make cooking fun and, a lot of things which are allied to cooking and food, but not really directly, selling cookware. So you'll see a lot of our content revolves around, a lifestyle and an experience rather than our products. And we do it in very, very different and innovative ways. A couple of examples, like what we've done in India is, a lot of international brands make that mistake that you are international, so, you are international. With us, I think we've been given that leeway to localize whatever you want. So, a lot of, it's a European, French product. A lot of people might think that, how do you do Indian cooking in that, right? It's meant for European food. So we've Indianized to that extent that, and it's very good for Indian cooking because, of the concept of the food and everything. So, that's something that we keep on doing. And what we've done, something very, very recently is that, the royal families of India, the lost legacy that the royal families have. So, every royal family has their, legendary recipe, their way of cooking certain things or, their way of cooking in a particular sort of community. So we are trying to revive that. So we tie up with royal families across India. And we are trying to bring on their recipes, on our social media forums. We've done offline events, so that they get their due. But at the same time, even customers understand that, what a royal family was cooking 200 years back or 300 years back. Because, that legacy is being carried on from generations and we are a generation product. So we thought, why not bring that onto the table and, give it out to the customers. From a I think CSR point of view, we advocate slow cooking. That's the concept of our product. And what it does is typically in India, what happens is that you take a pan, put the gas on the highest mode, cook. It gets cooked in 10 minutes or whatever, and then you eat. You're just killing all the nutrients, right? So, and you're using more gas, you're using more oil. So we try and advocate that, how you can do healthy living, how slow cooking helps you, not just, saving the environment, but also in terms of how it, betters your health. And our products are sustainable. You can use it for life. So, what more to bring on the table in sustainability than that?
Excellent. Ramesh.
Yeah, actually one other Ankur was talking about, using like a marketing, right? So reminded me of a company called Tom's Shoes. It's predominantly in the US. What they do is they make non-leather shoes, mostly cloth-based, which is also, like a sustainability kind of a thing. And they also, whenever you buy a shoe from them, they donate a shoe to a kid in South America. So I think it's pretty neat in what they do. And it also functions as a marketing. In terms of my current company, two big values, right? There are many, obviously, company culture-wise, there are a lot of other things. But two big things come out, I think, in our strategy in terms of marketing and in terms of way we communicate. One is value. So in general, given the size of the company, given the relationships which we have with vendors and all, we definitely get better prices. And those prices are naturally passed on to customers. And this is, I've seen this being followed very diligently. Like instead of protecting the margin, passing on a lot of the savings to the customers. And that is what Reliance is generally seen as from customer point of view also. That, it's typically tends to be on like a reasonably priced product. The next big thing, I think, which you see a lot nowadays is India as a growth story. And not a nationalist story, but like just that, the way India is set up right now, over the next couple of decades, we are probably going to be, one of the top two or maybe top three economies in the world. And aspirationally, like what happens is when you start, we have a very burgeoning middle class. So the first place it shows is how you dress, right? And also how you eat, obviously. And then I think the company has done a good job at kind of
giving that aspirational motivation an outlet. So you see that in kind of the marketing campaigns that you see.
Sure. Sunil, last but not the least.
So we have a CSR at the base of our business itself. So the core, right from the backend integration where we get stock. So we get stock from mostly online where we do the e-commerce. So especially in CDIT, we get product where there are small QC issues. So some small part of the laptop or maybe for the mobile is not working, because of which the customer has returned the product. But the product is pristine. The age of that product with the customer is about few days. So it comes back to us in a pristine condition. Before that one part, it is rejected. So we put that in a QC funnel and we repair it whatever possible, and so it goes to either as a product which is refurbished and ready to sell, or as a product which is ready to be scrapped. So we have integration with the responsible e-waste scrap dealers who take care of the scrap responsibly. They're certified. So we kind of do that as a in CDIT itself. If I say we are very responsible in taking care of products which goes to the e-waste, one, and two, we are re-energizing the product which could have gone to the e-waste straight away, which could have ended at the dump yard straight. So we are giving that we are refueling and re-engineering giving it a real life wherein it can be used. And also when I say our USP was online, se sasta or money back, there is also a huge customer base which is HNI. So they buy our products because of huge LED 72-inch, the biggest. We have 6 lakh rupees LED, and these kind of products also come in through different funnels to us. So there are the customer base who buy these products at a very attractive price. I mean, obviously they want to buy it through different channels like online. We have different tie-ups wherein we have a team who takes care of HNI products, the products which are a little expensive, luxury products, with the HNI customers. So so that also is a different channel for us. Also we have corporates like hotels and institutions who buy at bulk. So these products give them a good saving, and also that product becomes useful again. So the cycle increases. So especially for CDIT, this becomes a little important for us. So that in countries like Europe, it's already a very big business. So wherein they are very responsibly using the the products that are created, because otherwise it will only end up at the e-waste, and it will only increase the it's only add to the concerns we already have. So if we can use it effectively, we can increase the cycle. I mean, that's the only solution we can we can give as responsible company. So that at a core is a very big CSR initiative which has been recognized by many states, and we've been awarded many rewards around this. So also in other categories we do different like apparels, we have a different strategy to take care of. So apparels are mostly new, but it's just that they're old season, so we kind of give them a recycle there also. So I think this really becomes, because many customers, many brands who are associated with us, it's very important for us to kind of use the products which are useful, which can be used with small repairs. It's not about old, it's not about it's not about second-hand products. It's about reusability. It's about making sure that we are responsible citizens, and we use the resources which are there, and otherwise it will only affect the environment. It will only affect the volume of things will only end up at the e-waste, and that will only affect and create problems.
I think that was, your whole model is based on that. If you want to give a twist, that reuse and reduce, recycle kind of a.
So that's how our positioning is. So we have a dual positioning, as I was saying. So we have online systems for a separate set of customers who attracts with pricing as a core with us, and then there are customers who attracts with us wherein we are trying to do corporate responsibility. So they also kind of, as a good human, they kind of take responsibility of buying things which could have ended at somewhere else, and obviously in that value chain they end up saving as well.
So with this, friends, we come to an end to this wonderful session. All the 4 brands are different categories, different size, and are positioned extremely differently. At one end, somebody is talking only about pricing as the core, and at the other end, the the brand doesn't discount, So these are the two different marketing strategies that we have come across. But then that's the business model. Each business will have its own model and how, they are positioning. Somebody may not do promotions and somebody may rely on promotions like we saw here. And when I say promotions, it's not promotion oriented. Like Ankur had mentioned, the 4 Ps, and there can be many such Ps like positioning and packaging and so on and so forth. But the price, place, product, promotion are always the 4 Ps that we have been looking around. But the other important Ps that have also been discussed here, and which may not be exactly starting from P, but the kind of things and the strategies and the marketing thought processes these organizations are having and executing makes them differentiate amongst the competition. We did hear about some of the matrices. Apart from the general metrics like data engine and analytics, ROI, click store analysis, conversion rates, offline, online journeys, do my marketing campaigns influence this offline, online journeys? How, what, when, where, and how? NPS scores, and another thing is how do you listen to the customers? What metrics you use there? Category conversion metrics, tracking customer outside the store is something not many brands do, although it does exist. But how many of you here track the customers who are outside your store? And that will give you a fair idea about your other aspects of marketing, like visual merchandising, your overall facade branding, and so on and so forth. Heat maps and lost opportunity metrics. That is again a good thing. How many of you track the lost opportunity, and what is the metrics to do that? Because 10 come in and 1 gets converted, that we know, but then tracking it and then getting it. All of you do it, I'm sure, but how many of you do it assiduously, and what is the right process of doing it? Loss of sale reasoning is a part of that, and customer grievance addressal systems. Again, what is your strategy in customer centricity? Are you customer centered, or how do you ensure that the grievance redressal system actually takes place? In one of the examples we saw, it goes up to the CEO, and the chairman also takes immense interest in that. Last but not the least, we did speak about the overall values, and hear about only the brand values, but in overall values for the corporate as well. Deep purpose of the organization did come up, and I think every organization should have a deep purpose, without which the existence may not. Vision, mission, all those statements are an impediment for everybody to have, but it's the core purpose that makes the organization successful. Trust is another value that has come up. Customer centricity is one, but I feel customer centricity and customer focus, these are the two different things, but both of them should be an integral part of any organization's marketing strategy. Experience oriented content, and content is the key. And today it's only the content that will make you a winner. And experience oriented content means you give experience also, create the content and then amplify it, in across all the channels, depending upon whether you are using digital or non-digital assets. India as a growth story has come up in a big way, and that's where the opportunity for all of us is. But it will only happen when we take care of our environment where we are staying, and that's where environment consciousness also comes. With this, I would like to thank my esteemed panel and all the audience for being a wonderful audience. Thanks, and till the next time when we meet again.